Well, hello there, guys. So, Amanda and I are here tonight, the original SkyTour LiveStream team. Daryl is under the weather. He can't make it tonight. At least that's what happened earlier, he said. So, I feel bad for him, but the weather is conducive to a beautiful stream. And if
hopefully he'll pop by chat and say hello and stay for a little bit, but I don't think he was up to being on air anyway.
Yeah, I think that he wasn't feeling well.
And feel better, Daryl.
Yeah, please do. You're my favorite other astronomer. Hey, think about it. It was Carl Sagan. And now it's Daryl. So if you look, this is the Orion Nebula. We just took this picture. Just so you know how or you can see how much of a beautiful night it is. If you notice down here, you see these really faint stars. Okay, right here, you got some beautiful faint stars down here that usually elude us. We don't see them with this kind of clarity like we do tonight. It's really beautiful. And here we have a nice red star. Could be a carbon star. Could be a red dwarf. Probably a carbon star. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Hey there, Justin. Hey, Tim F. Hey, Pete Bods. What's going on? Nice to see you. Thanks for coming out to hang with us here tonight. We're going to be having some fun here. If you guys heard me a little while ago, I was on the Lee Spiegel show. Lee's been a good friend for many years, so I guess that's not much of a mystery as to why we'd be on each other's shows. But he's a good guy, and we're trying to do a few things. Wow, look at this. Look at these stars right here. Look at that. In the nebula. Look at those. Right in that dark lane, you see we've got 1, 2, 3 stars. And by the way, I just got to tell you, hey, Marco, I have to tell you, the Arizona Observatory is moving along at a good pace.
Good.
Yeah, as of yesterday, the second telescope was purchased for the observatory. We're looking through the first one now. This is the first one, all right? And look at the views. It produces beautiful views. But we now have the second telescope on the way here to be outfitted, and I'm going to actually use it in this observatory to do all the fitting out and testing on it. Then I'm going to dismantle it and take it out to the Arizona site. After, we have the building and pier all ready for it. So we're going to use the new instrument here in another week or so and use that primarily. And it has a lot of advantages over this telescope, but it's all brand new. So we're going to have some fun. And we're going to be you're going to be hearing me saying a lot of wow, oh my gosh, oh I can't. Just like the first night, if you recall, we saw the for the first time the Veil Nebula in the telescope. It was amazing. Look at that beautiful thing. You know what I want to do now? I want to try and get the Horsehead Nebula. The Horsehead is something that is always.
I was just thinking that.
Were you?
If it was this clear, yeah, if it would be a good time to try the Horsehead.
Yeah. See, now that's not a bad thought. So why don't we do that? Okay.
At least I know the Horsehead is in the Orion Nebula.
Well, it's in the Orion constellation. Yes, it is.
Constellation.
I know you meant that.
I knew. I was regretting saying it as soon as it left my mouth. I was like, I said that wrong, I'm sure.
Well, first, though, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to see if for any reason...
Is the Orion Nebula in the Orion constellation?
Yes, it is. See, I'll show you. See, looking at our handy-dandy constellation list here. Here's Orion. Okay, here's the Orion Nebula.
Okay.
Horsehead's right here.
Ah.
But we're going to try tonight, actually, before we go to
the Horsehead is a nebula of its own?
Yes, it is. And here's another nebula down here. This is called the Witchhead Nebula. I haven't taken a picture of the Witchhead ever, so I'm going to try.
Oh, you must have for Halloween. I'm sure you have.
I don't believe I did, Amanda. I was remiss. So this is the field of view I have. So I'm going to try this field where this is a relatively bright area. I don't know if I'll catch it, but I'll try. So let's move over there now. You'll watch on the left. That's the live view. Here's the planetarium view. So moving the telescope. Let me actually get in there.
Where are you going?
I didn't actually tell it where. I'm going to go to this part of the Witchhead Nebula here.
Because I thought we were going to the Horsehead first.
I know. I lied. So we're bringing the telescope over here to just near
That's why I'm
Rigel.
always so lost in space.
No, you're not lost in space. You're doing great. Oh yeah, Pete Bods. They did find 20. We have 82 moons now around Saturn, and they're mostly small. And guess what? They weren't discovered. They weren't discovered with the Hubble. They weren't discovered with any kind of fancy telescope, other than it was a ground-based telescope, and it was a fancy telescope on the ground, but it was a ground-based telescope that found it. Isn't that crazy? We found
Where?
Around Saturn, 20 moons.
No.
Oh.
Where was the telescope? Was it like a big, massive one?
Yeah, I think
like
it was.
That one where is it, in China, where they've relocated all those people?
No,
People?
no. This was, I believe they used. This was. I keep wanting to say Chile, but I think it was. I think it might have been Mauna Kea. No, am I wrong? Oh, I might be wrong. I knew this because I was going to talk about it. Okay, 20 seconds at 25,600. We are going to try to get. Let me just move us over a little. We're going to try and get an element of the Witch Head Nebula, which I've never tried to get before. So let's see if we can see it. Here we go. To the tune of Blue Danube.
But it was like one of the observatories that has like a big fancy name, right?
Yes. Yeah. It's on the tip of my tongue. I can almost tell you what it is.
What is?
The name of the observatory. I knew it. I just have a mental block. Okay, Witch Head is there, but it's not. You can see it right there, but it's a little bit not right here. You can see it's not quite as evident. Okay, back to the horse head like I promised. Witch Head is going to be reserved for the Arizona Observatory. All right. Oh man, I cannot. I'm going to be going nuts when I do this out there. I'm telling you. Okay. Was that you or Daryl?
What?
I saw a message from Skype. I wasn't sure who that was.
Oh.
Okay. All right. So let's go.
I didn't send you a message.
Okay. So back here, let's bring up our planetarium, do the side-by-side. Zoom out a little. And now let's go show us the Horsehead, which is near Alnitak, which is right here. That's where we want to go. So I'm going to move the telescope here. We're going to keep Alnitak right at the top of the field, just as an indicator. And let's go. And there goes the telescope. It's moving there in the left view. There goes stars, and there's Alnitak right there. And it's right here. Right there. So this star is that star. This star is that star. That star is this star. Right at the edge of the red. So we know that the Horsehead is a little bit down here at the lower end of the field. So what we can do is move it up a little higher and try and see if we can get a better view of it. Okay, that puts the Horsehead right in the center of our field pretty much. So let's just skip a little east and then a little right, a little westward again. And now let's go and take a 20-second picture, and let's go up to 32,000 for this one. Oh boy, oh boy. I love when the moon's not around. What can I tell you? Hey, Nancy W. Hey, Carol. There's Carol. Carol Carl is joined the house.
She was over at KGRA?
Yeah, I couldn't see it, unfortunately.
Well.
Yeah. I didn't get to see it.
You went into Discord.
Yeah, I tried. I can't go into Discord. It won't let me. Alright, let's see what we got here.
Yeah, a lot of people are having issues. That's why, starting Sunday, we're going to be trying to stream on KGRA DB.
That's
and
right.
I will get the link for chat right now. So you can actually check us out there. There's going to be a chat room like always, and we
Yep.
might even have some visuals for you to check out on screen from time to time. So,
well, it's going to be definitely. It's going to be like being in a SkyTour LiveStream, cloudy night stream. I'm working it out now. I'm writing a fairly elaborate show for Sunday, where we're going to be tooling through the cosmos and exploring different places, learning about them. And I'm still going to keep it for radio, but you're going to see, while you're listening, you're also going to see it on the screen. And I won't refer to it directly on the screen because I have a listening audience too. So, but you'll know what I'm talking about because you're going to be circling it and orbiting it with me. Look at the horse head. There it is. It's kind of hard to see with that effect on. Let me just get rid of that. There it is. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, you can't help it. We got a lot of... You know what I'm doing? I'm going to try something else. I have added another capability to this suite here. Okay, this is an editing suite. Right here. So now I'm going to try and do some editing. First things first. Okay, there we go. Do some color adjustment, color correction. Different colors show different things in different ways. Okay. We're using an editor now. That's what we're doing. Okay, so color temperature has been set. So this is more right here. This is right about there. This is more realistic color temperature. Right, and immediately you can see the horse head shows up much better. You see that right there? Okay, so now we can actually do something else. We can I'm gonna edit a few other parameters here. Let's see what we got here. Try a few things. Not that. I'm gonna leave that one the way it is. And I'm gonna see if I can, here we go. I'm gonna try and do this. Ooh. Okay. Again, we're at 32,000, so it's pretty darn high ISO. That is sensitivity. With the highlights here, let's crop those out of there. How about the darks? Darks we want very dark. Interesting. Well, you can see this here. Now, I feel bad Daryl can't be here with us tonight, but just so you understand, this red cloud here and this being silhouetted against that red cloud behind it is being illuminated by this star right here. This star is called Sigma Orionis. It is very hot, and it's an extremely hot star, and it has a tremendous amount of radiation. Let me bring it up a little so you can see a little better. Okay, so that's Sigma right there, and it's an amazingly hot star. And we've talked about it before. Boy, oh boy, I really, having the editing mode helps us out a little bit too. We get to see some things. All right, so, all right, so that we did that. So now let's pop out of there. And this is the unedited version, and then go back to the live view. So our live view's here. Let's take a look at where we want to go next. We can try coming up above Alnitak here, with just a short hot skip and a jump, and check out the flame. The live view shows Alnitak coming into view. All right, and the Flame Nebula is now right here in this view, and this is Alnitak down here, just off your view. Okay. So let's give it a try. Let's see what we got. You still there, Amanda?
I'm here.
Oh, good. I was wondering because I didn't hear you. I was like, hey, where'd you go? I was hoping that nothing had happened to your setup. Okay, good. Okay, so now let's just do we're gonna do a photo now, and we'll take a photo that's 20 seconds at 25,600. We don't need to go as high. Alnitak is a crazy star. It's just off the view here, but you can't quite see it, but it's really an extremely hot star. It's actually in the spectral class arrangement. It's a type O star. And an O star like that. Hey, it's Keith. How you doing, Keith? Wow, look at that.
Oh, he's just leaving.
Yeah, I just saw that now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a type O star, so it's really hot and young. It's only a few million years old, and it may not be able to get a lot older than that. It's actually unfortunately a star that's going to use up a lot of its hydrogen very quickly. Let's bring it up though and move the Flame Nebula center. Okay, so right here is the Flame Nebula now. Let me just do this and just do this. Alright, let's do 20 seconds at 25,600 and see what we get. I like always seeing what we get.
Everyone's talking about being cold in chat. Maybe the flame will warm them up.
Oh, come on.
Wishful thinking, mind over matter, all that lot.
Yeah. Let's see what Carol says. It's a frigid 50 degrees. Carol, sometimes you should just learn how to be quiet. Yeah. Wow, this is beautiful. Look at the flame tonight. It's beautiful. And this is just before I take us to another object that I think I want to spend some time on tonight. And that will be Messier 33 in Triangulum. And these are just checking the night, and these are really showing me the night is pretty good. Very nice, yes. Yep, and now let me see. Now let me bring up my view of the sky here with a telescope. Okay, and for those of you that haven't heard from before, I wanted to mention SkyTour LiveStream has started getting Observatory West underway. We have the telescope was purchased yesterday and is on its way here for outfitting, and we are going to be setting it up here and using it in this observatory that you see right here. And this instrument that's in here will be stored inside while we outfit the new one. After we outfit the new one, we're going to take it off here and we're going to bring it to Arizona and set it up out there. But we're going to use it here while the observatory is being constructed in the Sonoran Desert. And that's for purposes of being able to give you these phenomenal views at the same time as doing the diligence to make sure that the system is fully operational. It's just my way of trying to make sure that we're on target. I think
Timothy's excited for your new observatory.
Thank you, Timothy. We are too.
I bet a lot of people are, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. We are. We're very excited.
Like Genghis.
Yep. Okay, this object is going to be requiring a movement to the dome, but I'm okay with that. If you're okay, I'm okay with that. So let's go here and check out the Triangulum galaxy, and we'll just watch the dome. We'll have to move it, but I'll run out and move it real quick. Telescope's not really moving, jerky like that. That's just the frame rate. Okay. So do you mind while I go move the dome real quick?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I gotta go running across glazed ice, so
Ooh.
I'll be careful. I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay, dude, he just walked away as that question came in, so I will try to remember. Actually, you know what? I'm going to copy it into Skype right now, just in case chat moves. Okay. Any other questions? I am keeping my eye on chat, so keep them coming. Anything that you guys want to see, if it's up, I'm sure Mark will check it out for you. That's usually what I do Sunday nights. If a question comes in, I just throw it into Skype so I don't lose it when the chat goes. I hate interrupting when Mark's on a point. Oh, I see the dome moving on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. You see that top moving where that big black open slit is? See, turning all the way to the left. It's opening up a whole new part of the sky for us. Have I been naughty or nice this year? Ooh, that's between me and Santa. Is everybody else ready for the holiday? Hope no one's getting too much snow. I think Ronald's getting hit pretty hard. Daryl's had a fair bit of snow in the last month or two. It started early for him over in Colorado. We've had dustings here and there, nothing too bad yet. I say yet. Welcome back.
Thank you.
We have a question for you while you were away.
Okay. Did you answer it?
No, I didn't know the answer.
Oh, okay.
Do wants to know what you think about the new cold star they just discovered. New cold star.
Well, in terms of cold star, I understand cold. Trust me. Well, I think that they're talking about a brown dwarf or something. Isn't that what it was?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
That was all the question said.
All right.
I assume it was,
Yeah.
big recent news.
Yeah.
You'd heard about
Well, it was 63 light years away, and it's actually a object that doesn't have a temperature higher than 300 Kelvin. So that's about 200 Kelvin chillier than the nearest contender. So it's actually pretty cool.
saying they said it's room temperature.
Yeah. Well,
It's a black star and at room temperature.
well, it's not actually a star. It's too small to fuse hydrogen, but it's a brown dwarf. So I don't know why they call it a star. It's really a gas giant, in a sense. So it's an ultra cool brown dwarf. And brown dwarfs have their own classifications. One of them is they call it a Y class dwarf. Yeah, they're awesome, but I don't get too excited over brown dwarfs because we can't see any of them. They're only found with infrared instruments usually, and I wish I could just say, look, guys, this is a brown dwarf. But brown dwarfs are really only in the infrared. They're only radiating some heat. They're not sending out ultraviolet radiation and lots of infrared. They're only sending out a fairly low. Wow, look at that. They're only sending out a fairly low temperature, unfortunately. Okay, so let me get this straightened out.
Dude's gone to look into it, so if there's any more, I'll let you.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, fair enough.
Genghis is asking. Excuse me, I think I'm losing my voice here. Hold on a second.
Uh-oh, that's not good. Wow, okay. Look at that.
If there are black holes that consume matter,
Yeah.
are there white holes that eject matter, an anti-hole?
That's actually been we've never found one, But that's actually a really interesting concept. I've told you guys a story, I think. You know the movie Interstellar? There's a astrophysicist that was the consultant for that movie. His name's Kip Thorne. And I sat with Kip for 3 hours and talked to him about the prospects of black and white holes. Andy, funny. A hole? An anti-hole. That's funny. And Kip said that basically, given that maybe they could exist, and we don't know that they do, his hole thrust with black holes and the appropriate and the accompanying white holes was that we could actually see ourselves coming out of the white hole before we actually entered the black hole. He went at it from a point of view of the physics of time travel. And that's the story I tell, where he went to Stephen Hawking and they talked about this time travel concept with black holes, white holes. And Stephen Hawking said, no, that can't happen. And I'll write you something and tell you why. And Kip Thorne said, no, I think it can happen. And I'll write you something and tell you how it works. And they both sent each other their thoughts on it. And when Hawking read Thorne's review and Thorne read Hawking's review, Thorne said, Stephen, you're right. It can't work. And Hawking said, well, actually, Kip, you're right. It can. They swapped their positions, which is, it just goes to show you how little we know about the universe, This is M33 in Triangulum. Notice the spiral arms. You can see them. Actually, I might be able to draw those out a little bit more. Do a little bit. Take a little bit more. This is beautiful.
Do says,
yes,
they're now calling it a red dwarf and a temperature around 300, kelvins maybe, around Alpha Centauri. Is that the one you were talking about?
The cold star?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't remember where it was. It might have been there. Because I know we had...
And keep in mind, Mark can't remember every article that's published every day all the time.
Well, no.
I do that to him all the time. I hear something, I'm like, hey, what do you think about that? And it's like, you can't just be constantly reading articles all day long,
No, but I do on occasion. But...
Yeah, you hear an awful lot, that's for sure, but that's the problem. Sometimes it's too much going on and I can't remember all the details.
Yeah. As a brown dwarf, it's very cold. It's actually in the Astrophysical Journal. I should look it up. I have not.
It's the third red dwarf around Alpha Centauri.
Well, Proxima is the red dwarf that's orbiting the Alpha Centauri binary pair. I mean, so Alpha Centauri is essentially a triple star system. You know what I'm saying?
Kinda.
Yeah. Because you have two bright stars, and then orbiting them you have another red dwarf way on the outside. And that's what we see orbiting Alpha Centauri, is a red dwarf way out there, and that's Proxima. So I don't know. I wish I could tell you more about it. I actually don't. I only heard about it, in passing. But so you guys might actually be able to find out more about it than I actually know. So, but only because I tend to think of you as the coolest people on Earth. You guys know a lot of things and can find out a lot of things before I can sometimes. Because I'm kind of specialized in what I look at, All right, let me, that's the editor. Let me go back to the view. Okay.
And as far as we know, there are no planets around Alpha Centauri. Is that right?
Well, Alpha Centauri A and Alpha Centauri B, both, little a, little b is capital. Actually, capital A, little a, and capital A, little b are the two components of the main star system, the main primary star. Okay, and they're a binary pair of similar stars, kind of like the sun, that are orbiting each other. They're about the sun size, and far away from them is another star that's orbiting the two of them, like a planet going around stars. It's a star going around a pair of stars, and it's a red dwarf, and it's called Proxima. Proxima is actually the closest thing to us. Actually,
but they're all stars.
They are indeed. Well, they are indeed.
No planets.
Yes, Proxima.
That we know of.
No, Proxima does have a planet around it. That we know.
Oh.
That's confirmed.
Oh, okay.
But that's not this thing that he's talking about. No. All right, I'm going to go up to 32,000. Oh, I'm going to dare to do 30 seconds at 32,000.
Living on the edge.
I want to say hi to DW and Rockstar and Ronald is here. Ert Radio. Genghis, what's happening? Headband, what's happening? And I'm just hanging here looking at the beautiful sky. As I said to folks earlier, we bought the telescope for the Arizona Observatory. SkyTour LiveStream West is well underway. I just can't believe that. Oh, that's a good one too. That came out good. I just gotta make sure I get it to just not drift a little bit. The other thing too, the special thing about this telescope that's coming is that we can take photos for an hour straight, and it'll never be a bad photograph. We won't do that to you, but it is something that we can do. Because this new telescope has a special internal guidance system that's going to keep everything right in the place where it has to be. And in fact, it has an accuracy of 2 arc seconds, which is pretty accurate for a guiding system. And it's an auto guiding system, which is just going to make sure that our photos stay right on the money. Oh, and the other thing is, this is the system we're using here is an f6.3. I'm going to point out a couple of things. Ah, wow. I'm registering in my mind that this is a gorgeous shot. And it is. Oh, look at.
Which one is this now?
This is Measure 33 in Triangulum. It's the galaxy in Triangulum. And look at that. Ah, look at the spiral arms.
33?
Yeah, M33.
33.
Look at this is an H2 region, a hydrogen star forming region. This is one. This is one. This is a classic one. NGC, was it 406, 409? I'm not sure if I remember. And you can see all kinds of regions in here. There are so many objects that are in here that you can see that are cataloged too. It's incredible. But the new system is going to be able to take photographs, but if you'll notice, like at the edge of the field here, see how the stars are elongated this way, and at this end they're elongated that way. They're elongated this way. Seems like it's radially away from the middle, see? Well, that's distortion that's caused by the F ratio of this telescope. It's an f6.3, meaning that it's faster optically, all right? But the new telescope is an f8, which means that it's a little slower optically, but it's going to be. It's also ACF. It's an It's anti-coma. It's coma free. So this is coma. This little thing's going out here. So the stars are going to be points right to the edge of the field. So it's a step up in the optics by by $1,000. Let's put it that way. And then the
So Ginga says it's spiraling clockwise.
You can see the spiral here, so you would it's going this way. So yes. But here's the mystery for all of you. When we look at a galaxy and we see the spiral arms like this going this way, it looks like it's winding itself up this way, doesn't it? Why don't they ever wind up? How come in billions of years the galaxies don't wind up? And that was a perplexing question.
Or stretch out further.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, at the
Disperse.
rate... Actually, very, very good point. You know what? You get a gold... Not only just a gold star, you get a bar of gold for this one, because that was a very, very important comment that you made. And the galaxies are spinning in such a way, in such a speed, that the stars out here are very far from the middle here where the gravitational concentration is. So, two things. Why don't they fly apart? Why don't they disperse? That's exactly the question that we've asked over the years.
Do they?
Yeah, they don't disperse, no.
No?
And the other question is, if they don't... Hey, Keisha. If they don't disperse, then what's holding them together, number two? And number three, how are the stars orbiting the galaxy? We know that they orbit the galaxy. Are these spiral arms spinning like a pinwheel? Okay, well, yeah, sorta, but they're not actually going as fast as the stars. The stars are going faster in some cases. And the way it works is that and Dew is on it now. The way it works is that as the galaxy is rotating, we find that the stars way out here are actually moving faster than the stars near the center. Now, it should be that the stars farther out, just like Pluto moving leisurely around the sun, should move slower, and that the stars inside should move rapidly, like Mercury going around the sun in 88 days. Well, that's not what we see. This actually, it's like a rigid disc. It's like a phonograph record. So they seem to, they not exactly, but the stars in the middle are still rotating a little faster, but the stars out here are rotating much faster than expected, because it's almost like there's something else pulling them along, like a rigid disc. And that actually led to the concept of dark matter, just like Dew was saying a moment ago. So we don't know why these galaxies have as much dark matter as they do. In fact, we found galaxies that have no dark matter, and they're just really strange. There's no reason why they should have no dark matter. We expected that they would have dark matter. We expected that they all have dark matter. So it's actually it's pretty crazy. So we don't know why. It's kind of a new science, so we're gonna try and figure it out. I'm taking another 30 seconds here of the Triangulum galaxy. Well, Timothy, yes, whenever you have a concentration of stars, they are going to have a mutual gravity that's high, yes. But don't forget, the stars on the other side of that clump are being pulled toward it too. It's not just one-sided. So it works both sides. And so that's something that you have to consider as well. But it is true. Oops. It really is true. I'll get rid of that one. That's no good. It really is true that we have a wonderful universe with a lot of possibilities in it. And I think that when we study these further, we're going to get a much better idea as to whether the dark matter is really what's at the root cause of all this. I suspect that we will find that dark matter really does exist, but I don't think that we're going to find that dark matter is the cause of everything. As far as the rotation goes, there's a lot of other mysteries with galaxies that we have to answer. Pretty cool, though.
Pretty cool.
Hey, Neutrino. I saw you out there. James Dugan, what's happening? Good to see you here as well. And Bobby Burgess has joined the house. All right, man.
Hi, Bobby.
Hello, Bobby. What's up, Bobby? Yeah. Oh, look at that. This is beautiful. So let me just give us another view here. This is Messier 33 in Triangulum. You'll notice this really pronounced H2 region. This is like the Eta Carina Nebula in our galaxy. It's a massive, massive star-forming region, and it's also a very hot young star region. It's just a fascinating location. You can even see a little color. You notice the color in here is a little bit on the yellowish side.
Yeah, maybe a little.
Yep, that's actual. That's true. In fact, let's just take this over to the editor here, and let's see if we can get some color correction going on here. Let's get it a little more corrected for the elements here. Okay, get the noise reduction after it. Look at that. So now you can see there is a little more of a blue on the outside and a yellowish on the inside. That's pretty good. What do we got for contrast? Look at that. Wow. Isn't that special? That's pretty darn special. That looks really good.
That's very pretty.
It is. And let me see if we can drop some darkness into the backdrop there. Wow. Check it out.
Timothy wants to know if you've ever considered doing live stacks.
I thought about doing live stacking, yeah. And the only reason I haven't done it, Tim, is because it's one thing to take a bunch of pictures, okay? It's another to then do the stacking. Because, before you stack, you actually have to, judge the photos worthy of stacking. You could take 20 photos, and of those, only 9 have perfect round stars. The others might have minor drift, and you got to magnify them, each and every one. I do, anyway. Yes, Ronald, Man33.
Oh, I was just typing that in chat.
Ronald's good. Look at that. It's beautiful, huh? Oh, I love it. Okay, so let's take it down a notch. Let's go back to here, and let's see if we can actually what's going on here? Oh, maybe this. There we go. Yeah, I want to take another photo of this. I know I'm a little nuts, but what can I say? I don't know if you guys heard me tonight on Lee Spiegel's show. Lee and I have been friends for a number of years. He's a really good guy. But
You should invite him to be on here one night.
I'm going to, actually. We talked about it off the air. Laura Newber, hello. Happy holidays to you, too. Laura, I don't know if you heard, Laura, but the West Coast SkyTour LiveStream is underway. We have the land for the observatory figured out. We've got a perpetual lease of this 5-acre property in the Sonoran Desert. Thanks to the owners, who are good friends of mine. And we also, yesterday rather, bought the instrument for that observatory, the telescope. And we're going to troubleshoot it here. And then we're going to send it out west and install it after the building is finished, and actually after the concrete pad is poured and then the building is built around it. It's going to be a roll-off roof observatory, and I'm going to be able to operate it entirely from here or anywhere in the world. As long as I have a computer, I can run it, and that's the beauty of it. Oh yes, I just want to make sure everybody understands. The book I wrote called The Populated Universe is available on Amazon right now as an ebook. It's 450 pages, but lots of pictures. And as a printed book, it's an 8x10 book, and it's about 311 pages as an 8x10, 8.5 by 11. And I will have a copy of that book for the first time tomorrow, so I'll get to see it. Hello, Daniel Whitaker. How you doing? Oh yeah, James, I do the stacking, and I do darks and flats and bias frames and noise frames, as they call them. But I don't do it live in the observatory because it's really very tedious, and people watching it will quickly become bored. I think, if not, I can try it. I can show people what it's like. Maybe they'll want to hang out and check it out. If you do, then I will show you. That's a possibility. All right. We're on measure 33 in Triangulum. Taking some picture. Oh, I'm glad you saw the cover. Hey, Mario. I got a 10-inch Schmidt Cassegrain again, like this one. But we're taking it to an area where the dark sky is such that that same 10-inch will gather light and show us things like never before. And it also has built into it, it has a guiding system built into it so that we can take pictures for a lot longer than the 20 or 30 seconds that we do here. I mean, it's actually kind of a thing where I like to, I want to give you a return for your investment of hanging out for a while. I don't want you to have to wait for me to take pictures. So at most, I think we'll do 1-minute shots out there because I don't want you to basically get bored, I want you to hang out and be able to see new things. And I realize that when I take a bunch of photos like this one so we can stack them, we're actually already potentially getting you disinterested. So, but it's such a beautiful night, and I will check it out. If we can. James, the sharp cap, I'm familiar with that. I'm familiar with sharp cap. You got to use one of the other Astro cams. I think you said that. But it's pretty cool.
Ronald wants to know how many shots you take for stacking, usually.
It varies, but I'll take around 10 to 20, which is a really small number.
And Timothy wants to know, have you ever considered doing a satellite night, ISS, Iridium flares, etc.?
Yes, I have.
Space operations officer in the Army and would love to be a guest.
I'd love to have you, Tim. I think you would be great. I'll tell you this, the telescope, just so you understand, the telescope is not designed to follow satellites. But there is software out there. I'm talking to the guy who wrote it, and actually I haven't talked to him for a while, but it's a tracking software that can follow satellites. But you got to be careful because, in a dome situation like here, we'll quickly lose the satellite, But in a situation like Arizona, where we're going to just have a roof that rolls off, well, the telescope can follow the satellite for 40 degrees, or so, and that's kind of what we need, But Laura's asking about the solar minimum. Yeah. Every 11 years, we get a maximum number of sunspots on the sun, and then we end up having that taper off till eventually it has like now there's a blank sun where there's very little activity on the surface of the sun, and that happens every year, every 11 years. It's called the sunspot maxima and minima, and it's because the sun's magnetic field is getting twisted over a decade or so, and as it starts to before it resets itself and goes blank, we end up seeing lots and lots of sunspots, and then it tapers away, and that's something that happens every 11 years. The maximum every 11 years. Like clockwork, the sun is actually pretty regular. So in a sense, the sun's a variable star. In a sense. So, that's something interesting about our sun. Bit of a variable. Yeah, Nancy, it's cold out. Nancy let the dog out and very happy to be inside. My dingo had to come in. Yeah, my dingo's not used to this weather. Actually, she is. Alright, what do we got here? That looks nice.
Aren't all stars variable stars in a sense? Asks Ronald.
Some are pretty regular. You know, some are fairly regular, but our sun, for instance, started off a lot brighter, and it's settled into a life now where it's at a certain brightness, and that brightness doesn't really vary that much. It has an 11-year cycle. It has cycles that are a lot longer. Cycles, in fact, that affect global warming, global cooling, start with the sun. Whether we're doing anything or not, it starts with the sun. Wow, look at that. Boy, it's beautiful. Holy cow. Wowee. Okay, let's see if I'm getting people too bored here. I have to move out and check out some other things, which means I'll have to go back out to the dome, which is fine. Oh, wait. Oh, that won't be visible. I wanted to show you Uranus, but it's not going to work. The dome slot is only here right now. Let's see. Let's go and look at the little Scorpion cluster, because I think we can.
Of course we can.
There goes the telescope. As we're heading up toward the zenith there. There we are, we're pulling in. What's that? We're gonna see what that is too. Oh yes. You gotta see that nebula. We're gonna show you the Crystal Ball Nebula. You like that color very much.
Which one are we going to?
Shortly, we're gonna go to the Crystal Ball Nebula.
Ooh.
Yeah, you'll like it. We don't have to go too far. But first of all, let's check out the little Scorpion cluster, shall we?
Okay.
All right, and we're going to drop this down to just around 10,000. We don't need much more. Actually, don't need that much even. Let's just do that, and we'll just do 10 seconds. That's all we need. And now let's just move our little guy. First of all, let me get this out of the way. No. Okay. And now let's move this guy over a little. Okay. Locked on.
Oh, I think we talked about this the last stream. Genghis is asking about the wall of fire burning plasma around our solar system. Did we not talk about that last time?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually...
Do you see the question? He wants
yeah.
the Voyager probes to... Yeah.
It's kind of a misnomer. It's really not a wall of fire. It's just an area where... basically, when the interstellar radiation from other stars impacts the solar wind coming out of our star, where they meet, they form a junction, like a path called a bow shock, okay, and the sun's radiation is draped down behind it in the solar system, and this is a beautiful cluster. The bow shock is where this supposed wall of fire is. What they're really talking about is it's an area of increased interstellar radiation that's beyond the heliopause, the area where the solar system drops off. That's to say, the sun's influence drops off.
Is that past the Oort cloud?
No, actually, the Oort cloud goes out considerably farther, which is kind of weird. The Oort cloud may go 3/4 of the way to Alpha Centauri. It's kind of a weird setup. We might, who knows? For all we know, Maybe the interstellar comets that we see coming into our solar system, the one that came from Alpha Centauri. You know, it's very possible. It was part of, that, and maybe Oumuamua came from the Alpha Centauri system. We don't know. We have to be there. We have to go there to see it. And we will see it someday, I am sure. Aren't you? I am. Let's bring this cluster up and get a good view.
So where is it then? Past the Kuiper Belt?
Yes, it's beyond Kuiper. It's actually...
but before Oort?
It's about 130 astronomical units away. So it's sort of... The heliopause is where the sun's radiation influence is indecipherable from the interstellar radiation from nearby stars.
Yeah, I get that part, but okay. I'm just wondering how far... What is that comparable to? How far does it go out?
How far out? Well, it's 130 astronomical units to that location where that boundary is. Okay, Neptune's 30 astronomical units away. Okay.
It's 130?
Yeah, it's another 100 AU beyond that. So you see...
So past Pluto.
Oh, yeah.
And past
most of the Kuiper Belt.
Past most of the Kuiper Belt, but not all of it.
Probably not, because see, the Kuiper Belt is weird. The Kuiper Belt has several areas in it, okay, as the Oort cloud does. We actually have an Oort belt, as well as an Oort cloud. Objects that are in planar orbits around the sun, and objects that are in a spherical, more diffuse orbit around the sun. Kind of like globular clusters in a galaxy, So it's a...
Is the belt in the cloud?
The belt is... I guess the...
Belt, first and then the cloud.
Yeah, the Oort belt and the Kuiper belt are probably mixed together at some point. And so then we have beyond the Oort belt and then the Oort cloud, we have... And who knows? I don't even know if those are or even influenced by, or the Oort belt is even influenced by the sun anymore. I mean, it is to some extent, obviously, but I don't know if its radiation does anything, to the stars. I'm sorry, to the object. I don't know if the radiation from the interstellar region might actually have something to do and might affect the star. I am saying it wrong. I apologize. I'm doing 5 things at once, and my head's going out of my mind.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to do that.
No, I'm doing it to you. I apologize. I'm not speaking legibly here, and it's because I'm just trying to get.
Sometimes my questions might not make sense. I'm sorry.
No.
Hurt your brain.
Your message. No, they don't. Your comments are fine, but I'm just trying to.
But that's what I mean. Where. And that's what you're answering, because if the Kuiper has a belt and a cloud, and the Oort has a belt and a cloud...
Well, the Kuiper has it.
And it all kind of...
Yes.
No?
No,
the Kuiper doesn't have a cloud?
Kuiper is pretty much just the Kuiper belt, okay?
Just the belt.
Okay, the Oort has a belt, and it also has a cloud. They're kind of mixed. Okay? Now look in the center here. Check this out.
For the same distance?
For the same distance.
Is the belt the same distance as the cloud?
Is the belt the same distance?
Wide?
Is the belt the same distance? I'm trying to answer that right, because they mix. Their locations can be okay. We're a little out of focus here. Here is this planetary nebula I was telling you about. Yeah, it is, except that we're out of focus a little bit, so we have to focus the telescope. Sorry. So let's do that. Let's bring up our system for focusing here. Alright, there is the star.
I'm just thinking the belt is more concentrated objects than the cloud is. So is it is it almost Like, is the Oort belt almost like the dividing point between the Kuiper belt and the Oort cloud? Like, I'm trying to visualize it, like, in a picture,
know.
like, how it goes further and further out, you know what I mean?
I do. I understand where you're trying
Yeah.
to go. But unfortunately...
Like rings of Saturn, if you will.
Yeah, I agree. I understand. And that's a good analogy, actually.
Thank you.
I think that the Oort cloud is so far out and the Oort belt so far out that the Kuiper belt gradually gives way to the Oort belt, and then it gives way beyond that to the Oort cloud.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah. Well, that's what, I mean, that's what's going on. But I think that I'm trying to say it in a way that makes more sense to you.
That makes sense.
You make me think. You make me think. So that I can say things a little bit better. Okay, let me.
And I always apologize to chat. Sometimes I don't get a point, and I have to get it like told to me a few different ways, a few different times.
That's all right.
It can be frustrating for the people that do get it, but I mean, this is how we learn, and that's how I learn, and hopefully that encourages others to ask questions, because if he can put up with me, he can put up with anyone. There is no such thing as a bad question unless it's unasked.
That's right. Mario asked a question: would the field of view be hurt or injured by the fact that the new retractable roof observatory is going to possibly limit some of the view? The answer is there is a limit to the view, but then none of the objects that are down below 20 degrees in the sky are any objects that you would image anyway. You wait for them to get higher in the sky. And out there, I don't know how to tell you. You have to actually see it. You actually have to see it to believe it. You really do. Because right now in this image, there's so many more stars in this photo that we're not seeing. And with the new system, you're going to see that this is sitting within literally a bath of additional stars all around it, and nebulae that you just can't see. This is a planetary nebula, okay, and you can actually see there's some detail in it that is starting to show up when we kind of zoom in, and that detail is just lost to this little haze that we have here. I'll tell you, I'm really concerned that I might not want to run the Connecticut Observatory after this is done out there. And if I choose not to, I can understand why, All right, let's see now. What's this one here? This is... Oh, the California Nebula. Yeah, that's... we can't see that. That's a distended object. It's big. Huge. But the Northern Trifid we can see. You'd like that. We're going to go with the Northern Trifid now.
Is it purple?
The Northern Trifid is actually... it's a reddish nebula, yes.
There's a lot of red ones that I remember as purple. I don't know why.
Well, just because purple is, very close to red, actually, in a lot of ways. And that's fair. But see, here's what you see. And if we went into a video mode here, and we increase the sensitivity, okay, and now as we increase the sensitivity, we look for a nebula, and it looks like it's faint, so it looks like it's here. But we're gonna go see. We're gonna check it out. All right, let's go back down. We're gonna go to 12,800 for 10 seconds. Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty then.
Are you going to be able to image La Superba in Arizona?
What?
La Superba?
La Superba.
Superba?
La Superba. La Superba.
Well?
Well, I don't know. I have to check the latitude.
Okay.
I have to
He's
check-
asking from Arizona. I guess you can't see it now, or is it asking if it's still too low? Maybe it was low last time they asked.
Well, it's too low from here, yeah.
Yeah.
It's too low here. Okay, what just... Okay, nothing wrong. Okay, good. Yeah, so this is the northern Trifid right here. And you'll notice that it indeed has this semi-lobe shape. Okay, let's actually get a better shot of it so you can see what I'm talking about. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to do 20 seconds at 12,800. On the northern Trifid, we're going to pull it up a little higher into the view. Alright, and head west, young man. Okay, and then let it settle out, and then boom, off we go. It was the trouble with tribbles, David, not Trifids. You're talking about Day of the Trifids. That's right, Carl. Day of the Trifids. Remember how they sounded too? They were like, that's how they sounded. They had that little like noise that they made. Hey, we caught a satellite.
Ooh.
Yeah, I wonder if it's one of Elon Musk's. Now, if you notice from the previous photo to this one, okay? Right, here is the previous photo. You notice how the color is non-existent, right? Then when we go up to 20 seconds, look what we get. Now we get color in the nebula. Okay, this tells you something about how cameras work. Even when cameras have low light, they can't always register color. They register what's called luminance, and that's brightness. But they don't sometimes register. They don't sometimes register the color. All right, here we have this beautiful color of the northern Trifid. It's pretty. And of course, we have one of Elon Musk's satellites going through. I do not know if it's one of Elon Musk's satellites, but it's pretty cool. But you know what? I always liked getting satellites in the view when I was a kid, but you know what? I don't like them anymore because now they just ruin our view. Yeah, I'll take another
I still
shot.
kind of get a kick out of them.
Yeah, I still do. You know, I'm gonna go to 20,000 for 20 seconds here. And try and get a little bit more out of the northern Trifid here. Okay, so all right, so let's see, we got this locked in, and here we go. That's right. Well, Jim, near as I could tell, they're born pregnant. Bones, get him off my ship. And bring me hairy mud. Captain, hi! They ate all the quadrotriticale. Quadrotriticale, remember that? That's the grain that the tribbles ate.
How would I know that?
That's how they purr too.
Cute sound.
Oh, they're cute. They're so adorable, Uhura said. You know? And if you throw them, they go, when they hit, they go,
Why did you throw them?
Well, because they'd fall out of the grain bins overhead, and they would land on Kirk's head, you know, and they go, I did a magic show where I did a tribble thing. I had tribbles appearing from all over the place, and they were getting in the way. That was the whole idea. It was a comedy magic routine, and I had people just rolling on the floor laughing because it was just so funny. I go to produce a glass of wine, you know, out of like, just pull out a silk scarf and poof, you know, throw it on the table, puff it up, and there's a glass of wine in it. And of course, it was a drowned Tribble sitting in that. I was like, oh! You know, pull it out and it's dripping. You know, remember the music? It was beer, beer. It was like beer, beer, beer. I can't do it. Deer, 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 deer. You know, it was really funny music. Oh, come on, man. I want to get my view here. I would like to get a good view. We're going to get a view, Leela, no matter what. Or I'm not Zep Brannigan. Know what that's from?
Teacher Emma?
Yes. Well done.
Thank you. Not many characters named Leela.
Oh, that's true. Fry! Hey, Leela. Yes, Klingons hated them Genghis. They would go and they'd go, they would rear up and make that noise. There we go. There's my shot. They'd rear up and make that noise when the Klingons were around. Oh, yeah. So here's why it's called a northern Trifid, which you can see. It's got 3 lobes the same way as the regular Trifid. See? 1, 2, 3. And they're dark. They're a little bit dark. Now you got another one over here. Okay, and there's some out here. So it really isn't truly 3-lobe, but it's pretty cool. Hey, C&D boy. That's Canada boy, right?
Canadian boy, Canada boy, yeah. Bobby.
Okay. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know first names. I don't get them. I don't get the first name.
Oh, sometimes I don't know first names either.
Well, you're on a first name basis with a lot of these people. Let me tell you. You know.
Well, they call me by my first name.
Yeah, they do. Queen.
I like to think we're friends.
Yeah. Well, your first name is Queen. Queen Amanda.
That's my Jedi name.
Okay. Okay, let's go to this guy now. And this is really pushing it because I think the telescope is going to end up being in the way. Maybe not. We'll see. I got to just start up this. I don't know why every now and then the... oh, we might still have it. Every now and then the telescope camera goes down. I can't have that if it's going to be across the country. But I'll have more than one camera. I'm going to have probably 3 or 4 cameras. And there's another set of 6 cameras that are already in place out there so that I can watch the grounds and see what's going on. But I'm not allowed to tell you where they are because that's part of the secret. Okay, so...
Are you going to be at KGRA tomorrow night?
On, why, what's tomorrow night?
Your friend and mine is going to be on with Carol Curl tomorrow.
Who, Ronald?
No, Kat.
I know. I know.
But hey, who knows? Ronald might call in.
Yeah.
It's going to be a live show. Carol, do you ever open your lines? I don't know.
I'm not sure if it's a live show. I thought it was a pre-recorded show. I could be wrong.
Oh, was it?
Carol will tell you.
Well, maybe because of the time difference, that would make more sense.
Well, bring her in. You can bring her in if you want. If she wants to talk about it. Friday nights at 7 p.m. Behind the Obsidian Curtain with Carol Carl. Okay. Let's do 20 seconds at 20,000. Yeah, this is the Flaming Star Nebula. You're going to see an interesting nebula here if I can get it to come up.
No phone lines.
Yeah.
Just an hour. Okay. Waiting for it to say if it's pre-recorded or not. Do I hear an echo?
You do?
I thought I heard a little one.
I don't know why you would.
Weird.
Why would y'all hear an echo? Echo, 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 echo. No, no, no. I don't. If you hear an echo, echo, echo. You know, it looks like I'll be moving the dome. Yep, I'll be moving the dome. I've told you guys before, in every image you take, you'll notice that there are some small red stars. Okay, those are those little red dwarfs we always see. And there's one here. The more you look, the more you'll see. There's one there. There's one way in there. There's one out here. There's one here. See, at first, I saw one right here. But the more you look, the more you see. You know, and they're more numerous than the other types of stars out there at all, and by far. That is incredible, you know, to think about. All right, let me go here and see what I'm looking at here. I'd really like to get us back to Orion. Because Orion... Oh, actually, we've got some more now. Oh, yeah. I think I want to move us this way. I mean, we've only been going for an hour and 18 minutes, right?
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
About that, yeah. Can I run some?
All right. Can I run out to the dome and move the telescope? I'm sorry, move the dome. See, in Arizona, I don't have to do that. Mm-hmm. It'll just be open the whole time. All right, I'll be right back, Amanda, okay?
Okay.
All right.
And then there was me. Do you guys have any other questions for Mark? You can send them in. If there's anything you want to see in the sky, as long as it's up and visible in his area, we can definitely take a detour. There's never really any set plan for the evening. We just kind of start in one place and bounce around. What does Mark do as a day job? He does lots of different modeling work with FX models. Actually, give me a second. I will pull that up. fxmodels.com. And I'm going to put the link in chat. You guys can check it out. FX Models. He's done work with the Navy before, making models for them and different other companies, and he's made planets before and does a lot of submarine work. When does the universe end? The universe? I don't think the universe will end. Earth? Whenever the sun goes, what will happen to it? It will go to a red giant, then a white dwarf. Is that right? I'll have to ask Mark. I think it goes red giant, then white dwarf, but I'm not sure. Someone in chat can probably correct me. Oh, no, he's also an astronomer. He went to school to be an astronomer. And now an author. He used to write for the Huffington Post too, and now he's written a book. And what else? He's appeared on numerous episodes of What on Earth and NASA's Unexplained Files. He's done several other shows besides, but he's a regular on those two shows.
Oh, yeah. It's chilly.
What else do you do, Mark?
What?
What else do you do? I was telling them about FX Models. I was telling them about What on Earth and NASA's Unexplained Files.
Oh.
I told them about your book and that you used to write for Huffington Post. You do work for the Navy.
Yeah, and then...
What else? So much. I'm probably forgetting so much. Oh, we have SkyTour Radio every Sunday.
That's important.
and then we have this whenever weather is permitting.
Yeah, and this will soon be 2 observatories. Mm-hmm. Which is wonderful.
Where else can they find you?
They can find me at MUFON. They can find me at fxmodels.com.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. Duh. I didn't even mention MUFON. Yeah, the chief video and photo analyst for MUFON.
Yeah, and then we can... I can be found at conferences all over the place. And the next one coming up will be the Mega UFO Con in Laughlin. And that's coming up in February. And then maybe another one, actually. I think another one that might be looking to have me up there. So that would be a good possibility. Okay, here's the Orion Nebula. And Orion's in a very, very favorable location right now. So I'd like to just take a few more pictures of it. It's always a pleaser, isn't it? Yeah. So we're going to just bring it up to there. Maybe actually a little lower. And then pull it over. Do a little focus. Do a focus view here. Mm-hmm.
Not too slippy heading out to the dome, is it?
Oh yes, it was, but I tried not to fall.
I hope you were successful.
I was. All right, let me just refocus here. Okay, that's out. Let me bring it in.
What focusing system do you use?
I'm using an electronic system that goes through the COM ports on the PC, which is the communication ports, and they go directly to the telescope's focuser. Same as I'll use in Arizona. These are, if you're in the dome right now, you'd hear it going zzz, you'd hear the focusing. Okay, that looks really good. So, and those are the 4 stars of the trapezium. Those stars right there are very hot and power a lot of the nebula, causing it to glow. All right, so let's go and take some pictures. Look.
Is it DC or is it stepper? I don't know what that means.
Oh, someone's asking?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is actually just a DC motor, but I actually have right here, which I don't think anyone can. Well, actually, you can, because I have it up right now. This is a circuit that I'm making. Here's a stepper motor right here. This stepper motor and this circuit hanging from it that I have under there is Arduino, it's called, based microcontroller. And I wrote code to use this stepper motor to open and close the cover on the telescope, so I can do that, because you have to do that, of course, too. And the stepper is nice because a stepper motor, it means steps. What's that mean? You have a staircase, right? You go up 20 steps, you're at the top of the staircase. That never changes. You always go up 20 steps, you're at the top of the staircase. You can close your eyes and go downstairs and count to 20, and you'll be on the bottom step every time.
Though we don't advise it.
That's correct, we don't advise it. But the benefit here, what I'm getting at, is that with stepper motors, you can always get a motor to go to the same exact spot every time, in the same way that you always move a certain number of steps. When you go downstairs, you go down 20 steps, you always move to the bottom of the staircase, never halfway down, never too far. You're always going to move that same distance, and that's what the stepper motor does. Yeah. Alright, let's see what the Orion Nebula looks like now. Check this out. Here we come. Oh, we're a little bit fuzzy. I'm gonna fix that. Fix your butt right now with that one. Okay, I should have known. That's another problem we're not gonna have. Okay, 20 seconds at 4,000. Yeah, Timothy, you're right. You can indeed do that. That's Brandy saying it looks beautiful. Yeah, it is. This one should be even better, Brandy. Here we go. Here we are. Check it out, ladies and Gitterbong. Look at this, huh? Let me see if we are good here. Oh, we got a little bit of walk on there. We're gonna fix that. Lots of detail though, and we'll get more. Just a second. I'm gonna go start that again. Have that picture taken in 2 seconds, and let me just move us over.
Ronald wants to see the Horsehead Nebula again. Did we ever make it there?
Yeah, we did. Well, now that we're in Orion, we have other things to go see. Yeah. Focal length Timothy this is an f6.3 telescope. So we are looking at a field of view that is just over a degree in the horizontal and about a half a degree in the vertical. So the moon fits in the view top to bottom. Full moon. Oh, look at that. It's beautiful.
Timothy's saying something about the Running Man. We can see that.
That's right. That's why I'm going. We're going to go to that.
That.
I just want to catch a good shot here. And, you know, it's so cold out there that things are running like molasses. And so I got to make sure that they don't, you know, they've got to work right. Okay, now let's do it. I don't want any walking. I know, Laura, isn't it beautiful? Laura Newber says, wow. Yeah, wow indeed. For something around 1,200 light years away, it's pretty bright, isn't it? And if we went there, you wouldn't even notice it. You probably wouldn't even see it. You'd be inside of it and wouldn't even notice. Now we're talking. Look at that. That's beautiful. There it is, folks. They're running the Orion Nebula. It's a blister on a dark nebula. You can see the dark nebula here. And as I said before, we can see these little stars over here in the nebula. Which, that's my indicator to know that I got a good focus. It's not quite right. I still can focus a little better. But isn't that something? Yeah, this is M42. This is M43. Okay. And you can see very much how the Orion Nebula has become a birthplace for stars. There's a lot of protostars down in here that you don't see that are forming. And there's also in here things called proplyds, which we can't see here because we would have to be able to zoom in better. The benefit of the F8 is that when we look at the Orion Nebula, this is our field of view here. Let me show you. Here's our field of view with this telescope. And it's f6.3. When we go to f8, it's going to be more like this. This will be the view. And then we can zoom in from there. So it's going to be quite nice. Yeah. Really, really nice. Oh, yeah. Oh, and I also have to work on a electronic system to run the camera as well. But actually, I have that already. I just have to get the power for it. Make the power all one. Awesome. Nice. Okay, so I got my beautiful shot of the Orion Nebula. Would you like to go see the Running Man Nebula now?
Sure.
Okay, all we have to do...
Timothy would.
I know. All we have to do is go up.
Well, I assume he would. He mentioned it.
Yeah.
Didn't actually say he wanted to say it.
Oh, he does. And we want to just go up a little bit to the Running Man. And here it is. So all we have to do now is wait for things to stabilize out and do... Now we got to go a little higher, though. I'm going to go up to...
Is this a CCD camera?
No, this is a... No. This is not. It's a sensitive Exmor chip that's in a Sony camera, so it's actually nothing like a CCD. Essentially, it's more like a CMOS.
We have another request for the Horsehead Nebula.
All right.
I must have been zoned out. I don't remember seeing it. I know we went to the Witch Head first, but...
Yeah, but we actually, if you remember, we also did some processing. Alright, let's see the Running Man. There you go, look at that. It's pretty. There's a Running Man. Now that's a one-shot. Now that's beautiful for a one-shot. See, that's a little instant processing I'm throwing on it, which I can adjust a little bit, because the one thing that I like to do is to render these things the way they're supposed to be rendered, you know, a little bit better. So I got that. So now that said, let's go to an editor. Let's go to our editor again. All right, and if we go to the editor, all right, now what we'll do is let's go and render this more in the actual color. So let's get rid of the blue and give us our night backdrop. Now this is a blue nebula, so we don't want to lose that blue, but we're gonna make it a little bit less blue. That is the surrounding area. So now you see how it stands out already, right? You see that? And now what we'll do is we're going to increase some of the contrast. And with the shadows. Let's bring that down. Bring up the ambient light in the nebula a little bit. These guys right here. Maybe pull this back a little. So there we go. So that's kind of interesting. Wow. What do you think?
I can make it out, but I mean, I've seen it look better. I've seen you capture it much better.
Well, that's after stacking, yes.
Well, maybe.
We haven't done any stacking here.
No, I know.
But usually if we stack it...
I like it with the brighter color around it, because then it makes the negative stand out more.
You mean this? You like it with this?
Yeah. I can see more the negative, like the kind of black. Not black, but compared to the blue.
Okay.
Even that's nice. Even there's good.
Okay. Well,
It makes the black of the man stand out more. The arms and the head and the legs.
Oh, if we want...
If I'm looking at the right thing anyway.
Yeah, maybe you are. Maybe you're not. Let's find out. That's about good. So you can actually see, this is just a one shot, remember, but there's the Running Man, and this is
like where that star on the left is that you were just, that one, like that would be the bottom of one of his legs, right?
I would guess.
I would think. And there's this other leg that you're going down, and then up his body.
Arm and head.
There's an arm.
Yeah,
That's
maybe.
his head, I thought.
Up here,
That's
yes?
what I'm looking at. I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking at. I can never see these things anyway, so I figured I could see him. It looks like a little man. It doesn't look like he's running. He just...
Let me make it...
No, he looks like a little logo man.
All right, let me make it a little easier for you. Let's go up to 25,600. Okay, for the same amount of time. So we're going to increase several stops. And we're going to do this photo again. Okay?
Okay.
20 seconds. Ronald, it's not blue gas. It's actually scattered light from dust grains that are actually scattering the blue light from the bright blue stars. It's a common thing, so don't feel bad, you know. Okay, it's a little interesting. Let's see here.
But the Running Man isn't a constellation, so there's no picture to put over.
That's correct. You have spoken wisely. And this is a better...
It looks like, I don't know, like an old 80s arcade or something where you have like 3 men left.
Yeah.
Those little 8-bit graphics. That's what it looks like to me.
That's right.
Is it an asterism? No, it's a nebula, isn't it?
It's a nebula, but you know, the stars could form an asterism within there. Here's the other thing. See this? There's this guy right here. You notice this little thing? There's nothing wrong with my camera. That's actually there. That's actually a dark nebula, dark dust that is blocking or occluding the brighter nebula behind it. Okay. Let me see if I can monkey with the settings to make it a little more visible. Like, yeah. That's got it, right? See that? That's pretty clear now. Well, there it is. That's the Running Man. It's beautiful.
Over a hurdle.
Yeah, and the hurdle happens to be like this blazing hot star. Right? Yeah, like Genghis says, stick figure runner. Well, Timothy says to view it 90 degrees. Well, which way? This way? Or this way? Or this way? Or that way? That's the way we just had it. Counterclockwise. Okay, so you're saying we want to see it this way. Does this help you see the Running Man better? Oops.
Ooh.
Yes, I went counterclockwise, Tim. So clockwise is what we had.
Walking.
Yeah. Hey, Pokey. Gumby, give me a carrot.
That's what I was thinking, Carol. I just didn't want to say it.
Which is why he's running, Carol. So
and
Tim.
On that note, there's an all.
Hey, Mal. Hello, Mal. So you can see now how beautiful this actually is. It's really quite a lovely, really lovely nebula. Oh yeah, just beautiful. Oh yeah. You'll notice there's something else too. You'll see this area here, and like I said, we are rotated counterclockwise, so we would have to be. This is how we actually photographed it. And this area right here, this area within the Running Man Nebula is actually emission nebula. That's the same thing that we see in the Orion Nebula, and that emission is mixed with the other nebular scattering by these hot blue stars of the dust in here, which is why we're seeing it as blue. And we got to be careful because there's another possibility, and that is that as we look at these nebula, sometimes there's oxygen out here, and we do get an O3 component, that is that bluish teal color, like we see, for instance, in Thor's helmet, which is not too far away from this, but we won't get a chance to see it tonight. It's not. It won't be good enough. But this is a very beautiful nebula, without a doubt. You know.
What's the longest exposure you're comfortable with, given your setup?
Given this setup by 30 seconds, but when I get in the new telescope, we're going to be able to go for... I mean, if I'm going to do an hour exposure, I could, and it won't budge. But we're not going to do that. We're going to probably realistically do 1 minute exposures, maybe 2 minute exposures on occasion. Things like the Andromeda Galaxy would really, really, really benefit from a 1 minute exposure or 2 minute exposure with this particular camera. We could literally take photographs that would blow out. A faint galaxy like a Measure 33 could blow out the camera brightness because it's too long an exposure. But that's because of the fact that we're going to be taking pictures in an ultra dark sky with a very sensitive camera and a system that can track forever and ever and ever. It's just amazing. This is beautiful. I mean, look at the difference in colors, the beautiful reds and blues. It's almost like I can't take my eyes off it. Hey, Tony. Tony the Night Owl's here.
I see.
I see you see. This is the Running Man Nebula, Tony, which is right below the right above the Orion Nebula. Okay, so let's go over and go to that and do this. So this is Running Man. It's beautiful, and I want to now take us. Let's go into our 3D setup here, and let's go down to the 13th Pearl. Just take a quick look at that. We'll run up to the Horsehead 2 in just a second, but I want to show you the 13th Pearl as well. There goes the Running Man. There goes the Orion Nebula.
The what? The 13th Pearl?
Yes, this is also called the Rubber Stamp Nebula.
Ooh.
Do you remember this?
I remember the name, the Rubber Stamp Nebula. I do not remember the name 13th Pearl.
Okay. Yeah, it's not Rubber Band, Rubber Band, Rubber Band Man.
Love that song.
Me too. I have it on one of my playlists, and it's like, don't, 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 don't.
How can you not be happy when you hear that song?
I love it. Hand me down my, what did he say? Hand me down my
walking stick,
and hand me down my hat. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to do this. Move over a little bit. Clickety-poo-pah. And take a picture. For drifting, I'm not going to allow it. Okay, here we go. 25-6.
And after the Horsehead, M42, any chance of that tonight?
Well, that was the Orion Nebula. We saw it.
Oh. Okay, just making sure.
No problem. It is after midnight here, and we're going to be moving to a few other things here shortly. Oh, wow. We got another satellite up there on the left. And then down here is the Rubber Stamp Nebula. You see it has a black dust cloud that is occluding light from the star, and so it looks really black in there. You know? So there you go. That's that beautiful thing. I don't know which satellite that is, but we can figure it out. It's below the or is it at the celestial equator? Let's find out. Let's just quickly go into this. Oh, yeah, it's still above. No, it's not. Hold on. Just 1 second. I'm going to find out. Yeah, see, we're at -7, and it's in our view. It's actually right there. So it's just below the celestial equator, that satellite. Okay, so when we're here looking at the rubber stamp, and the rubber stamp is like right about here in our view, the satellite's going between these two stars. See that 1, 2, 3, and it crosses right over that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's these stars here. And it crossed over those. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. It's actually crossed over those. So the satellite is at -6 degrees. Cool. All right, and for those that were saying they wanted to see it, why don't we just go there again, just to say we did. All right, and there's the Orion Nebula. And as I've told you before, which I'll tell you again, these stars here in the middle, okay, that we're seeing, these stars are powering the nebula. And let me just do this first, go eastward a little bit. And there they are. Those 4 stars that you see right there, they're powering much of this nebula. You can see the night, as good as the night is, it's actually it's really kind of shaky. You can still see it's pretty shaky. So the sky is a little unsettled, but that's all right. Okay, let's see. 20 seconds, 25,600. Way too much for the Orion Nebula. We're going to blow out the center. But I'm going to take 2 photographs. I'll show you this first of all. I'm going to do... we'll take this photo first. And then when we come back, we're going to take another photo.
Okay, Daisy and Zoe want to know why it's called the rubber stamp. Because it looks like one.
Yeah.
Supposedly, right?
And because it has that it looks like it's a stamp, like a black stamp, was imposed on it. You know, it looks like it has a black stamp. Looks like somebody rubber stamped it. Ka-chink.
Huh.
All right, here we go. So there is a 20-second photo of the Orion Nebula, and so you can see all these peripheral nebulous detail out here, which is what the purpose was in showing you that. Okay, and then you can see it goes all the way down. It goes all the way around. It's probably one of the most extensive nebula regions actually in the our sky. You know, you can see some blue out here. You can see some blue out here, out here. It's really extensive, you know, and this is not a reflection nebula. This may very well, like this stuff here, this is ionized oxygen in here. So we got a lot going on. The Running Man Nebula, though, that blue, you recognize that. Okay, this is an emission reflection nebula as well as the Running Man's an emission reflection nebula. Most nebulae that, unlike the Pleiades, which have a pretty clear reflection nebula component, most of those just end up doing the scattering of the blue light. Okay, so now let's just take a look here. Let's lock us down. Let's edit this for a little bit quickly and just drag some color options over. Okay, so this is, we'll let the noise reduction take hold.
And Ronald wants to know if you're still using the filter, and if so, what kind?
Yeah, we're actually using the high-end filter that we bought, which was the UHCS filter, which gives us the beautiful access to the gorgeous colors that we see in the nebula. Okay, and you'll notice that when you process a little bit. That's pretty, isn't it? You can see some of the wispy nature out here.
I don't like it so blotted down. I like the vibrance.
Even if it's unrealistic?
Kinda.
Well, okay, fair enough. So what I'll do now is...
I mean, it's just more appealing to my eye. I mean, I understand
sure.
you
No, that's fair.
change it around to see different things, and
Yep.
it's all useful information, but...
I get it. I'm not saying anything bad.
Yeah.
But here's what we're going to do now. Now we're going to go and do an exposure for 6 seconds at 3200. Okay? Of the same nebula.
Okay.
And it's only 6 seconds, so it'll be over in a second. And boom. Alright. Now, look at the difference. When we look inside the nebula now, okay, we see the trapezium stars, these 4 beautiful bright stars here. But notice that this isn't blown out bright white like it was in the other image. Now we actually see what's going on in here. We see that there's modeling and other detail in this nebula. This is here, which you don't see here, okay? You don't see that. Oh, not that one. That's a little bit... I guess that didn't actually work too well after all. Yeah, we don't see that in there, you know. In this one, we don't see... we see this green central area. Notice how it's somewhat green? Okay, it really is somewhat green there. It's just beautiful. So, that said, let's go back and let me do something right now. Let's go and make this 10 seconds and see if we lose our ability. Yeah, James, it's very easy to blow out the central Orion Nebula. You're absolutely right. But having done it so many times, I kind of know where the sweet spot is. This is kind of a sweet spot. This is about the most you might see with your eye in a regular telescope. Something about like this. You might see a little around the edges here, but it's really pretty. And I know that I'm trying to see here. Yeah, we're losing some clarity here, those stars, so I gotta get us to some other places here. Really pretty, though.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. And now let me take us to the next place. Bring us to the next item here on The Price is Right.
Far side.
Okay.
Please.
All right.
Thank you.
Sure.
I'm fighting for you guys in chat.
No,
I
it's not.
see your requests.
I wasn't ignoring anybody. I just didn't.
I know.
Okay.
Easily sidetracked.
Yeah, no, not me.
And we did see it early in the stream, to be fair. We did see it earlier, but there's a few newer people.
Okay.
And it is nice.
It
Well,
is.
we saw Orion twice.
Yeah, we
3
did.
times.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So. Okay. And now let's just hold ourselves here. And bring us here. Back a little. And just, I want to do a placement image. 10 seconds. Won't be enough to see the horse head. I just want to get a placement image, make sure I'm in the right spot. And I am, because there's that fuzzy star I was looking for. Okay, so we go back. Yeah, let's do that now. Get back to here. And now we'll go up and do this higher shot here. We're going to go...
I thought you were going to break into Get Back for a second there.
Break into what?
Get Back?
No. I don't know the words.
That hurts me.
See what I deal with.
Unfortunately, folks. I was thinking you were gonna probably respond something like that. At first, I thought you were gonna say, "What's that?" or "By who?" or something, but
it's by the Beatless. It's by the Beatles, right?
Something like that. David knows it.
Wait, who's Loretta?
Loretta Modern. Sweet Loretta Modern. A character in the song.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've heard
she
that.
She was a woman, but she was another man.
Wow. No idea. Had no idea.
And a low neck in her high heel shoes and a low neck sweater.
Wow. I had no idea.
The more you know. That's my contribution to the show.
Okay. Right near the top of the field here, you can see just a little infiltration here by Alnitok, which is up top. You have this star here, which is buried in some dust and scattering of light. And right here is the Horsehead Nebula. Now, I should take a picture of it with a much higher ISO, so we should be able to see it. Let's do it let's go crazy. Let's go to 51,200. You ready for that?
I am.
That's gonna be crazy. Here we go.
I hate to ask.
Now that looks really clear now. More clear. Yeah.
Are you eating?
I had 2 cookies.
Wow.
I didn't get any.
I wasn't going to say anything, and then...
It's rude. I don't want to do that, but I had no choice.
Mark forgets to eat from time to time. I'll make your apologies for you.
Yeah. I was going to mention I didn't get dinner, so I went out with Lee and went right to this. I think more of streaming the astronomy for you than eating sometimes. So my mistake. Mm-hmm. Okay, now I'm going to go in. Let's edit this one. Okay, so let's do the standard background manipulation here. Okay, let's try this. The nebula showing up. Let's try this. No. Try that. Interesting. Thank you, Daniel. I had 2 cookies sitting here, and I let them sit here for 2 hours and 1 minute. And then when I started to feel lightheaded, I figured I better eat one. And there you see the horse head now. This blue here is probably sky glow related to LED lighting. And I think that that pretty much says it all. Okay, now we're gonna take ourselves up a little north to see Alnatak there. And now we're gonna just check out one more time the flame, which is right here. Okay, and we'll do 20 seconds at 51,200. 51,000 is just too high. And that's the very highest useful sensitivity that I've found that I could use. But now and then it works okay. And to just check out in a very gross, coarse manner these nebulae, this works fine. Look at that. Look at that.
Nice.
It is actually. It's pretty cool. It's really nice. Let's get into the editor again just to try it out. Just for fun. Let's just quickly drop that in. Okay, and match these other things like we were doing before. Man, that's something. That looks pretty. Wow. That's pretty. It's pretty nice.
Very nice.
Yeah. And Alnatak is sitting right next to it. You can see the beginning of the Horsehead Nebula down here. So these two can be in the same field if it was just a little wider. The F8 won't show this. The F8 is going to be more like this. That's what we're going to see with the F8. So it's going to be really, really nice. Indeed. Okay, now, what else do we want to look at? Oh, there's so many things. Were there any other requests that I might have missed?
I don't know. So I missed them too. I don't
What?
think so.
Okay.
If you guys do have any requests, let us know.
Yeah, I always say just one more, then one more, just one more.
Oh, well, I say that, yeah, and I'm not sure when you're wrapping, but
Yeah.
if a quick one comes in, see what we can do.
Yeah. Let's see.
Messier 481 or Sirius? Are either of those doable?
Well, Sirius is right here. Let's see if we can get to Sirius. Let's see if Sirius is within reach of the dome.
Okay.
Okay, so let's take a look at a star that's only, just over 8 light years away. I'm going to bring this up a little higher. We certainly don't need 51,200. Let's say 6,400 for 10 seconds. Okay. And I'm serious.
Uh-huh. Funny guy.
Not at all.
Punny guy.
Punny. Oh. There you can see. These are just...
That's beautiful.
It is. And these are just...
Ooh, good call. I think it was Astro that suggested this one.
Yeah, and we're only... These are just reflections. These are not nebulae or any kind. So these are just reflections in the telescope that you're seeing. It's a very, very bright star. Very nice. Wow. Yeah, that's nice. I'm glad we did it. Okay. Now, what I'd like to do is take us down to...
Genghis wants to see some clusters.
Okay. All right, Genghis. Let's do that. Let's go down here in Canis Major. Let's go down and start with the little beehive right here, okay?
Okay.
There we go. Sirius disappears. Whoop. And the little beehive will come into view right about now. There it is. So you see the planetarium view and then you see the live view, and you can see both at the same time, which gives you a really good idea of what's going on. All right. So here we have the little beehive. And let's just lock it up and take a 10-second picture. We'll go to 8,000. Why not? Went the wrong way. Come on. There we go. Oh, I'm glad you like the music, Tony. I never... But yeah, on Sunday night on KGRA... Oh, that's beautiful. We will be doing the radio show from 8 to 10 p.m. But it's also going to be broadcast on KGRA-DB, KGRA-DB, which is the KGRA YouTube channel. And we're going to be taking a tour of the cosmos. And it'll be told from a perspective of a radio show, but you're going to see the visuals of what we're doing without any direct reference to the visuals. So that if you're just listening, you'll get something out of it. But if you want to watch, then you'll get even more out of it. That's the whole idea. Kind of a hybrid radio show Sunday, and we're trying it out as an experiment and hope it works. Now let's go into the cluster.
And I just threw the link in chat so you guys can subscribe and hit the bell. And
Yeah. That's right.
Oh, I mean, the KGRA shows are uploaded there, but from time to time the show might go live, like us on Sunday.
That's right.
And you can join us.
Yep. And the management of KGRA is really interested and excited to see it. I gave them a private demo the other day, and they absolutely loved it. So this should be pretty cool. All right.
Yeah, SkyTour will be live this Sunday. Unfortunately, I won't be there.
Yeah, unfortunately. SkyTour Radio will be live. Without Amanda.
Boo.
Yes, I know. Boo-hoo.
I just assumed we'd be off that weekend. So close to Christmas, I figured.
It's a fair enough assessment, you know. Fair enough assessment. Alright, let me get closer to my screen so I can see it. There we go, that's better. I took my glasses off so I couldn't really see what I was looking at.
Thank you, Daniel. And Neutrino, thank you. We appreciate that.
Awesome. We got new subscribers
Actually,
on KGRADB.
Yes, we do. Actually, Carol Carl, who is in chat with us here tonight, she has a show every Friday.
7 p.m.
7 p.m. Oh, see, I'm an hour ahead.
You
7
are.
7 p.m. Eastern.
Behind the obsidian
8 p.m.
curtain.
for me. Yes, behind the obsidian curtain.
Yep.
And
Yep.
Like I said, I don't think many shows go live, but they're usually uploaded pretty shortly after they air.
Yeah.
You can also go to kgraradio.com.
That's right. And by the way, Sunday night, Carol is going to fill in for Amanda. Carol's going to join us.
Oh, she agreed, did she?
Well, if she didn't, she is now.
Oh.
Yes, she did.
Perfect.
Yep.
I feel chat will be in good hands.
Yeah, no, Carol will do a very nice job. Carol's very good. If you ever heard her, she has a very, she has an excellent radio voice, you know, because you could listen to her all night. And I think that's pretty cool that she's agreed to do that.
And I don't want to speak for him, but if Charles is around, he might be able to help you out with Discord. If any questions come in on Discord, if you can keep an eye on the YouTube chat, he might be able to post questions in there. He was willing to for me last week, but I was bouncing back and forth actually.
Yeah.
Well, I had a little tone that went off every time a message came out in Discord, so...
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, we're looking at something I didn't think the dome would allow me to do, but it could, so apparently we're okay. We're going to do 20 seconds at 20,000. And this is Thor's helmet.
Thank you, Daisy and Zoe. They subscribe too.
Oh, you didn't?
What?
You weren't subscribed before?
No, I said they subscribed. I'm subscribed, yeah.
Okay.
I have been for months.
I thought so.
Or for however long it's been around.
Wow, look at this, guys. This is Thor's helmet. This is an area where a very, very hot star has shed some of its outer layers and made this bubble. This bubble is called a Wolf-Rayet star bubble. And basically, just to point it out easier, I'm just going to throw in a little editing so you can see the color, because the color is really the most important thing. I think I'm going to have to bring the color out a little more. There we go. So you can see the color is a greenish blue. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
And that greenish blue is oxygen. This little line down here is just a flare from a star that's just out of the view, a bright star. But this is Thor's helmet, gang, and this is this Wolf-Rayet star in the middle that's actually blown this bubble. Is probably heading towards supernova status. Sooner than later, but sooner in terms of the universe could be 250,000 years from now, sooner, rather than 10 million years. You know, if only we lived at the age of the universe, we'd see these things happening, you know. It's really cool. Let's drop make it stand out a little more. Okay, make this stand out a little more. No. So yeah, there you go. So that is Thor's helmet. Again, a single shot, a one shot. And the techniques, since the last time I took pictures with Thor's helmet, we're using a new filter that is just incredible. Absolutely incredible. So we're really happy with this here. And I got to get another one of those filters, another camera. I mean, everything has to be duplicated. Hey, James Small.
And Elisa.
Elisa's here. Oh, hey, Elisa. Thank you for coming along. And now, let's see here. Well, you know what? I think just for Elisa, we're going to have to show her a beautiful little gem of a cluster. What do you say?
I think so.
All right, let's do that, shall we? The live view is here, and you know, this is just an overlay. But Yeah, here we are. So we're going to be looking at a little cluster over here. It's sort of a little gem of a cluster. Let's make sure that it's all set up properly for everybody. Oh yeah, okay, so let's drop this in. And now we'll do, we don't need this. Let's do 10,000 for 15 seconds. Okay, and now where we got? And there you go. Here's a beautiful little cluster to show you some of the wonders that are out there. You can see this beautiful little guy right here. If you notice, I've told you all before, in every single shot, look for the little red dwarfs. There's one right there. See it? One right there. Mm-hmm. This could be a K star. And why could that possibly be a K star, Amanda? You should know enough to say that now.
Because it's smaller and redder?
Not necessarily smaller, but it is a little bit more red, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I assume small because
we don't know how
down
small.
The line, they get smaller, right? As opposed to
no
star.
You can have K stars that are about the size of our sun too. So, it's just that the M stars tend to be smaller, but only when they're on the main sequence. Only when they're fusing hydrogen into helium. Every star that comes off and stops fusing hydrogen into helium, when they run out of hydrogen, every star swells up very, very large.
Oh, yeah, I was mumbling about that earlier one of the times you went to check the dome. What's going to happen to our sun? It's going to go red giant and then white dwarf?
Yes.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Yes. Yay!
Look at, boy, for someone who knew nothing about astronomy, you're doing pretty darn good. Really proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See, I thought that's what happened, that it swelled to a giant and went to a dwarf, and I was just trying to remember the right colors. Red and white.
Yeah.
In the right order.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, so Alyssa, there's your cluster. That was just for you for coming along with James Small to check us out. All right, and now let's go back here. And whether she saw it or not, it's okay.
I think she probably did. I think he said that she loved it.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just the shout out. I don't know.
But now let's go check this out. If we
thank you, Tony.
Have enough to do here. This might be cool. Actually, I'm gonna come down here. We're gonna go right here. Hopefully this will not disappoint. And again, I'm pushing the dome. The more I go to the left, the more the dome could possibly be in the way. But I haven't looked at it lately, so I'm gonna have to do that. So let me just grab the dome again. Oh, that's gonna be close. Yeah, it's gonna be close. Let's find out, shall we? Okay. 15 seconds at 10,000. Let's see if we can see the Calabash Nebula.
The Calabash?
The Calabash Nebula.
What is a calabash?
You'll see. If it looks red, it's...
Oh, we hit dome.
Yeah, we hit dome, yep. I kind of see a little red. Hopefully I'm not. Oh, good, none.
I see no red.
There we are, we're covered. Okay, I gotta take that picture again, but the Calabash Nebula is that guy right there.
But what is a calabash supposed to be?
It's a planetary nebula. And that's just the name. So here's
just a made-up name? Not
made up. I mean,
Greek for anything?
Yeah, it's probably named for the person who found it or something. I don't know that. I do not know that. See, that's two things now I haven't been able to answer. Telling you, man, I'm losing it. Of course, it's 1 a.m. and that's probably part of the reason. 15 seconds at 10,000. I want to point out when we take a good picture of this. This nebula is a planetary nebula, and at the center of it, you can see the white dwarf that powers it. Now, white dwarf is the end state of a star, so you say, how can it power it? Well, and this is beautiful. It can power it because of the fact that the white dwarf actually has a lot of radiation that it gives off. And it's really heavy in the ultraviolet. So when we come down here and look at the nebula here, you'll say, wow, there's a dying star in this young cluster of stars. Doesn't make any sense because the young cluster of stars, they're all young. So what's this guy doing here? What's this old fella doing here? Well, what he's doing here is just being in the way, because this cluster is literally over 2,000 more light years distant than this planetary nebula and star, which is about 2,000 light years away. The cluster is over 4,000 light years away. So if we made our way to that cluster, we'd go right by this, 2,000 light years in, and the rest of the trip would be just going to the cluster. Evergreen tropical American tree? Wow, that's pretty cool. So you notice in this cluster, in this nebula, you see this red fringe around it? Yeah, that's something we never could see before. But with the new filter, we're able to see it quite easily. That's really, really nice. So let's actually go in and let's make it 12,800. Let's go to 16,000. All right, and let's bring this up a little bit more and over a dot. Okay, so now we went up 2 stops, which means that we went up in light gathering by 2 stops, meaning 2 settings that give us a little wider, a much more sensitivity by 2 stops. And there we go. So now you can see we are on the border of the dome. Can you see the red? This gentle red here? We are. We're just on the edge.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, see? We're right on the edge. Yep. And I got a spider on my camera.
Yikes.
Yeah, see that?
I do see that.
So this is beautiful. That. Okay, so now I know spiders are okay. They kill all the bugs that eat you. So it's better to have them than not. Alright, so we want to go to the east here. To the west if we're going to move away. And let's do one of these things. Let's take a look at M47. M47 is a cluster, right? Otherwise known as NGC 2422. It's an open star cluster, and it is way down here in the constellation of. I think we're looking at. Is it? Can't tell which. Let me make sure I can tell which one it's in. Okay, that's right. It's in there. So I thought it was Puppis. Yeah, it's in Puppis. Yep. Okay. And Puppis.
I wish it was a kitten.
I wish
Puppis sounds so cute.
I know, right? Yeah, you could name your next kitten Puppis. It'll have an identity crisis forever, but hey, Puppis. Why is Pup in my name?
Lou's like a little puppy dog.
Who?
Sweet. Handsome Lou. One of my cats.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Okay. Oh, did I actually go here?
I don't know. Where are we going?
I'm still in the Calabash. I didn't go here. I was supposed to set our new location. Hey, let's just do this. Let's just go. There we go. Now we're on our way. Yeah, there's Calabash. And now we're going to look at M47 and puppets. This is a cluster I literally grew up looking at. Because it was really easy to find in the telescope. And it was really pretty. Just stunning, you know, all these stars. And you think about these stars and you think, wow. Every one of these stars, if there's G-type stars here, I mean, they could actually, even A stars, you know, could be, could potentially house life. You know, we don't know. Man, I like the thought though. Okay, let's just let that floaty float. 15 seconds at 16,000. Is it my imagination or am I watching this? Is it the stars are moving? I think I got myself some wind out there. I don't think this is going to be in focus.
I don't see them moving.
Not now, they're not, but I think they were just a minute ago. Well, it goes to show you what I know. Goes to show you what I know. But there's M47. It's just beautiful. I'm looking at M47. Look how rich it is. It's so full of stars. You know?
I see an 8.
Do you?
Yep. There's the top of it.
This here?
That's the top of one circle.
Oh, right here.
No.
Well, that's one. See? That's a circle.
Oh, that's the second circle.
Just this?
It's really big. No, all there.
Okay.
Big circle. All that big circle is the bottom.
Okay.
And then above it? No. To the left. And up.
Oh, here.
Yeah. And then that's a big circle.
So this.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's the 8. Yeah. The other day we looked at the 37 cluster.
Yes, I remember seeing that.
Remember that?
It kind of looked like a 37.
It
I
did.
mean, it makes more sense than any of the other ones.
Yeah, because it really did look like a 37.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. So, well, yeah, so this is a beautiful cluster, M47 and puppets. It's just gorgeous. Like I said, I grew up looking at this cluster. I really enjoyed looking at this. So now let me see if I can take us somewhere else. I want to thank all of you that are here. We have almost 40 of you watching right now, which is fantastic. Thanks, guys, for coming on out. If you have any requests, let me know. And we can check it out. Right now, understand that our dome right now is right here, so we can only look to the west of that. But there's things I want to see that aren't quite there. But we have plenty here. Let's go check out the Seagull Nebula. Huh? Oh, we can look at that too, but I think that's...
I have no idea where the location of any of these things are.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little more to the east, and being that it's in single digits outside, I don't want to go out if I don't have to.
No.
But I will if you want me to. I mean, I'm happy to do that.
You'll just have to get in another stream before Christmas Day and show it again.
Oh, heck yeah. You know, I think the folks, you guys realize that I do every clear night, almost every clear night actually, I will stream. All right, let's go check out the beehive. Yeah, we're going in the right direction, I believe, so let's check out. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. It's there, but we may have a dome in the way. but it's okay. It could be an illusion. Alright, so let's just move this way. Move this up. Okay, let me center it. And then wrangle it back. Alright, 15 seconds at 16,000. Let's see what it looks like. 15 seconds at 16,000 ISO is actually pretty good for clusters to show any nebulous structure inside, if there's any. So that's a good thing to do at times. I like it. Yeah, dome. Okay. What can I say, Captain? We've got to get rid of the dome, Captain. I know, Scotty, we've got to get rid of the dome. If we don't, we won't see anything. Aye, sir, that's the way it works. Okay. Well, that's the beehive. So that said, let's go back to our view here, and let's check out where we really are. Okay, so we really need to be to this side a little more. Alright, well, we got plenty to look at over here. We looked at Thor's helmet. There's stuff down here too, which are really cool. We looked at Sirius. I know. Let's go take a look at this. This is the Seagull Nebula. Watch on the left side here, and you'll watch the stars move through. Do you guys like this double shot here? We actually see the planetarium view, where we're going, and the real-time view.
I do.
We can always switch to this, obviously, if we want to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like seeing it until we get there, and then when you take it off and see the full thing, then
yeah.
That's cool.
Okay, cool.
My opinion, though.
Your opinion is valid. Your opinion is noted. Okay, let's take 15 seconds at 25,600 on the Seagull Nebula. It may be just a little off to the side. But we shall see. And you know, the other purpose of the music is so that I can just be quiet for a few minutes. And then let the music take over. Alright, so we missed it. We don't see it.
Yeah, and remember, he just did 2 hours before this, too, so...
Yeah, I was on KGRA for a couple hours. Alright, let me...
And for those that just subscribe to KGRA DB on YouTube, if it's not up already, the interview Mark did with Lee Spiegel will be up pretty soon. If not tonight, tomorrow.
That's right.
Pretty fast at that.
Oh, I totally...
Well, I don't know. Who is producing, Rice?
Yes,
My
my brother was producing.
Bill does it fast.
Yeah, Bill's immediate.
Yeah. He might do all the shows, edit all the shows, actually.
Yeah, he might.
I think he does.
Here, we'll check out this cluster. And tomorrow, I get a haircut. So my intelligence will be less tomorrow. Alrighty, let's do this now. Pull you up. $15 seconds at 25.6. Let's see what we end up with. Great. Just punch your microphone all the time, Mark. That's gonna help. David Schmidt, happy early birthday. It's next Friday, you said?
Technically, it's Friday now for me and for you.
For me, it is, yeah. It's been Friday for over an hour.
Happy birthday, David, just in case I don't see you before then.
Yeah, you may not. Wow, this is something. This is really pretty.
I'm gonna have a busy week next week.
You do? Where are you going?
To 2 shows, then my cousins, then they're coming here, and then to a dance.
Really? Very nice. Wow, this is beautiful. Yeah, I can't help but just enjoy all the splendor that the universe provides. I just can't. It's just so stunning. So very stunning. Wow. Well, okay, so it's almost like I come out here and it's almost like I haven't seen this before. Oh, I haven't seen that before. There's always something new to see. There's always something you've not seen before. And you look at these star clusters and you think, these stars are many light years away. We're seeing their light as they were sometimes thousands of years ago. And sometimes hundreds of thousands of years ago. And they're just so intoxicating is the word. You know, because we don't have an idea. Literally, we haven't ever seen a star cluster born. We only have a theory as to how it happens. But boy, oh boy, it's something that I wish I could see. Wish I could actually see it. This used to be our startup song for SkyTour LiveStream. When I first started, I remember I would start in and I had something I'd always start up with and say, hey, welcome to SkyTour LiveStream. This is Mark D'Antonio, and we are in picturesque northwestern Connecticut. Welcome. And I've let that give way to a little bit more casual approach. But it's kind of cool. All right, we're moving up to the heart-shaped cluster now. You can see the cluster pulling in here on the left. Yeah. And now let's get that up there. Okay. And move up. Move them up. Get them up and move them out. There we are. Okay. And we'll do 15 seconds at 25,600 on this one as well. Note this star right here is a nice little orange star. Coming right up. Look at that. There's that orange star. Now, most likely that orange star is an interloper. It's either beyond or before the cluster, and not in the cluster. Because usually the stars in the cluster are all the same type. Yep, really cool. Wow. Okay, let's see now. I wonder if I'm able to do this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to see the Orion Nebula one more time. I can try. But I don't think we can because it's probably out of the way. Or, well, I see the nebula. Look at that. Come on, make your way over. That's it. A little more. A little more. Oh, a little more. That's okay. Alright, so what we're going to do now, we're going to bring this up. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to do this first. If we're not going to be interfered with, I want to bring us down just about there. There's a reason.
What's your reasoning?
I want to show people the running Man Nebula, as well as a little bit of the Orion Nebula, so they can see both. You know? And I'll do 15 seconds at 25.6. Here we go, Captain.
There's a really cool commercial I saw the other day.
Yeah?
I don't know why. I mean, I don't watch a lot of TV, and I don't know. From time to time, a commercial. Oh, blown out by the dome.
Yeah. But you see the Running Man and the Orion Nebula. I thought that was going to be the case. Yeah, so was the commercial.
I forget what it was for. It was for some kind of pain medication.
Okay.
And they said, it's fast acting. This is why we showed you this 30-second commercial in 15 seconds. Because they had the video in the background fast forwarded.
Okay.
And it was going at double speed.
All right.
And it was trying to reinforce that this medication acts fast for pain.
Wow.
And most commercials are 30 seconds, so for them to compress it into 15, I thought, you know what? That's kind of genius.
That's clever.
I don't know. I was impressed by it. I guess it doesn't take much, but...
No, stop. It's clever.
I thought it was actually quite clever.
Yeah. All right, we're going to head eastward to NGC 2149.
I remembered it, so it did its job.
Yeah.
Well, kinda. I can't remember what the pain medication was.
Yep.
It wasn't Advil, but I think it was something like that. I think it was for migraines.
Yep. Alrighty. Very good. I didn't see that commercial. I wish I could.
Yeah, it's just like you notice that it's going fast forwarded in the background, but you're kind of paying more attention to what they're saying until they point it out, and then you're like, that is better, you know, having it be a shorter commercial. That was nice of them. No one really likes commercials.
Oh, unless they're funny. I remember I went to London to work on a miniseries, and I had to, we had submarines that we brought over, radio-controlled submarines. We were working on an underwater show, and I still have Dome. And what we discovered was that the commercials on TV were funnier than the shows themselves. The shows were boring and stuffy, but the commercials were absolutely hilarious. I couldn't wait for the commercials. I kept changing the channels to get to the commercials. And my cousin and I were both he went with me. We were both just laughing so hard at just the commercials. Wow.
They did a follow-up to the Christmas M&M commercial from the last few years.
Oh, they did? And what did they do?
Do you know the commercial I mean? When the red and yellow M&Ms are sneaking in, and they see Santa, and Santa faints, and the red guy faints? Do you know the commercial I mean? That's been on for like years and years. They actually did a follow-up to it. What happens when both of them are passed out? Then the yellow guy takes over and he tries to deliver the presents, but he messes it up.
Oh, that's funny.
And they go to the wrong houses, but then all the people come out and they give it to the right people, and they all meet their neighbors.
That's funny.
Yeah. It was really weird. It was really, really weird because, like, I don't really like that. Like, you see something for so long and then they go and change it, and it's, like, kind of a little bit weird. Yeah. And I saw the continuation of the commercial, like, years and years later, and I'm like, what is going on? What are they doing? Again, another.
Yeah.
They really work hard on Christmas commercials.
Well, that's their Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand that.
Anyway.
Yeah. I did, a Burger King commercial and
Oreos.
Oreos, yeah, that's right. That's for that. And then the Coors commercial. And for the Coors commercial, we actually had 12 8x10 tables, which had glacial landscapes on them that we had to make. And we made these beautiful glaciers and everything. And they were all separated by like a walkway in between. You could walk in between them. But they shot with the camera at a low angle so that you never saw the space between them. And it looked like one continuous glacial field.
Cool.
Really clever. Yeah, I really like that commercial. I learned a lot about doing certain special effects on that particular commercial.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be really fun.
Yeah, I learned
Another thing Mark does.
I learned from Uncle Lou, my friend
Timothy
Lou. What's that?
I think Timothy was asking what else you do. So you've done special effects for commercials.
Oh yeah, well that's my business, right? FX Models is a visual effects and special effects company, and we also, besides doing that, we also do a lot of work for the Navy. So we do the DoD contracting for defense. We also do the fun stuff. Visual effects. Yeah. Wow. Well, here we go. This is Messier 35, also known as the shoe buckle cluster. It's the cluster that's in Gemini, one of the twins' feet. Castor's.
The shoe buckle?
Yes. Castor's feet, I think. And below it, you have another faint little cluster, which is likely very far away compared to this one. Yep. Interesting, we use clusters to figure out the distance. We use something called the cluster fitting method. It's a methodology by which you take a cluster of known distance and you put it on the stellar diagram that we call the Hertzsprung-Russell diagram. And you take the one you don't know and you put it on there. And by matching up the star colors and brightness, you can actually figure out the distance to the cluster without knowing much more. It's really clever. Timothy, no, I'm an astronomer. I actually went to school for that. I have a degree in astronomy, believe it or not. We really exist. And to understand astronomy just takes a keen interest, You sound like you have a keen interest in it, so that's pretty cool.
And he was saying, again, he would love to be a guest.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good idea. Hopefully Amanda can also help keep track of you, Timothy, so we can...
you can even email us. I'll put the email in.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah, email us, Timothy, at our KGRA address, okay? Because as you know, Amanda's my co-host on SkyTour Radio as well. And together, Amanda and I, and of course Daryl Mason, make up the SkyTour Radio team. And SkyTour Radio wouldn't be the same without you guys. So thank you for listening to us. Wow. Well, you know what? I've had a great time tonight.
Daryl's not feeling well.
Yeah, Daryl's not feeling well. Okay, sorry. Righteous Toad. Hey, I didn't say hi to you yet. How you doing?
But he should be there Sunday.
Oh yeah, he'll be fine by Sunday.
I won't be, unfortunately, but...
Yeah, but we'll have Carol Carl, who is also still in the chat. Carol Carl, Friday night at 7 p.m. Behind the Obsidian Curtain is her show on KGRA. And we actually will we'll be talking about something interesting on Sunday night. I don't want to... Well, I can give some of it away. On Sunday night, we are going to be broadcasting video as well as doing the radio. No, it doesn't mean you're going to see me on camera. There's a little camera anyway, but I'm not going to do that because after all, it is a radio show and it is KGRA. That should get the attention, not me, and that's okay. But I am going to take people on a tour of the cosmos, and we're going to. It's a tour for radio, but anyone who's watching on the KGRA DB site, and man, if you could put that link in chat one more time, you will see visuals that go along with the radio show, and it's going to be a continuous. You're not going to see any kind of pictures. It's actually going to be sort of a real-time simulation of the universe, and you're going to go flying through it with me. Also, if you have not subscribed to SkyTour LiveStream, please go ahead and do that. Beautiful shots like this and some of the others that we saw tonight will be available to you. Actually, once we'll be happy to send them to you, or we'll be happy to put them up as we always do on the SkyTour LiveStream Facebook page. And please enjoy that as well and go check it out. But please do subscribe, and hopefully you guys will you'll enjoy the time here. I'm a little tired tonight, which is why I'm kind of stumbling a little bit. So pardon that, which is why it's time for me to get off the air. And thank you, Amanda. She's put in the links. The first link was to the KGRA DB site, and the second is to yours truly with SkyTour LiveStream. And Amanda Curran is the co-host on both SkyTour Radio and SkyTour LiveStream. She's really worked her way into our hearts, hasn't she? Yeah. She's and she's come a long way, as someone who has probably talked to tens of thousands of people over the years about astronomy. I can tell you that I've never seen anyone with more tenacity to learn than our own Amanda Curran. Yeah, she's really got that desire to learn, and I'm very proud of her. I feel like I'm her teacher or something, and but a lot of it she's learned on her own, and I really think she's great,
And Daryl's amazing for that too. He has a really, really nice way of explaining things in a way you can really grasp.
Yeah, and that's kind of why he's a good fit.
Oh, and Carol just stole his line.
Oh, that's right. Everything's better with Amanda. That's Daryl's line. Yep, and she knows that. That's why she said it. Yeah. So, you guys, you have a good night, okay? And
I think we had a very successful night.
Yeah, it was fun. We kind of went from one thing to the next. We kind of zipped through the winter sky. There's a lot more to see. I haven't even moved us down toward the other end of the sky. I've got plenty to see out there too. But you guys have a good evening, and Amanda and I will talk to you on the flip flop. We'll also see you. And what is a flip flop? I don't even know what that means. Yeah, it's like it came from my Breaker 19. This here's Rubber Duck. We got us a convoy. Yeah, right. Yeah. CJ McCall, is that what it was?
That actually sounds about right, yeah. CW, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe CW McCall, I don't know. Anyway, you guys have a good evening, and we will return. I'll put up the music for a little bit here, and then the stream will fade away into nothingness. So thanks for coming, guys, and we will see you the next clear night, which could be as soon as tomorrow night. So we'll see. Anyway, good evening. Have a good evening. And remember, SkyTour LiveStream is going to be east and west. This is SkyTour LiveStream East. SkyTour LiveStream West is coming. We already have the instrument, and we've got a lot of the materials. We're making the dome, not the dome, but the roll-off roof out in the Sonoran Desert in Arizona in February. So the new machine, the new instrumentation will be in the dome here for testing. So you're going to actually see imagery from the new telescope under the skies here in the Northeast. And then you'll see the same imagery under the skies in Arizona. That's going to be fun. All right, guys. I want to go to sleep. You know why? Because the sooner I go to sleep, the sooner I can wake up tomorrow. It'll be one more day closer to when the telescope system arrives. So the only convoy I'm going to have right now is the convoy of stampeding sheep going through my head as I count them as I go to bed. Folks, have a good evening, and remember, keep looking up.
Except while you're driving.
And if you do look through your sunroof while you're driving at night, make sure you're the passenger. Good night, all.